Pass me that.
We're live now.
Can I have it? Hello, friends. It's me, Cynthia, and Azalea. She's on the other side of the computer. And this is our Wednesday edition Magic Hour. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to revisit one of our kits that we have in stock called, what do we call this one? Minerva's Garden or
Minerva. Just Minerva.
So I'm studying Latin in Duolingo, just for the joy of learning. Because most people, they don't speak Latin anymore, so it's kind of not a language that you can really practice with. But it does come in handy. I was listening to this urban fantasy, and one of the characters was doing magic and saying a lot of Latin phrases. And I was like, I know what he's saying. I know exactly what he's saying. Some of what he was saying, I had to look up some of the words, and then I realized they were made up. So I was pleased to know. Felt good to have some, information. I see some of our friends here. Hello, Liz. Hello, Allison. Hello, Katney, Pat. Hello, Wendy. Wendy, my friend. All right.
Let me know if we have any people that show up that are just Facebook users. I tried to fix that.
So last Sunday we had a thing that said Facebook user, and it turned out it was a setting on, was it StreamYard or Facebook? I think
Facebook.
It was a Facebook privacy setting, so that
we could only see the names of people that we were friends with actively.
So that's.
Yeah, it was a little bit silly.
Yeah, who am I friends with on Greengirlstudios? I don't think even a business page can be friends.
I know, they did not tell anybody about that little sneaky update. They kept that to themselves.
Mm-hmm. Kelly says it resolved itself. It resolved it by Azalea
going into the settings and fixing it. That's
we
how
had to Google and
itself.
Figure it out. We were like, what is happening? So thankfully that is resolved. Hello, Karen, Julie, Terry. Oh, Kalite. Hello, my friends. I see Kelly here. Kelly Thomas. She says it resolved itself. Yes, but not. Azalea is giving me the look. She goes with her deep dive. Robin. Hello, my friends. All right. Pat says pick now. Because I guess there was no picture. I'm not sure why that would be, because we would be 100% the wrong folks for tech advice on this. We'd just be like, well, I wonder what we do about that, except go in and out. All right, so I wanted to share, we had this kit, we called it Minerva, and that is the goddess of wisdom. And so I'm going to switch this camera around. We're on 3 minutes.
Let me do it.
Zoe's going to do it. Hello, my beauty bliss.
All right, move it over. There you go.
Did you get this camera lens clean?
I wipe it all the time, but I also don't have my fingers fondling on the camera, so there shouldn't be anything on it.
Okay, hold 1 second. Tiny smear. There. All right. So this is what the camera. Here, I can do it.
What are you trying to do? Because I'm trying to drop the link.
No. I'm going to back out because it's zoomed in pretty aggressively. We don't need it zoomed in that hard.
All right, here we go.
Let me get this all in the picture. Oh, last ones.
Yep.
Azalea's getting it in there.
You can start talking about it.
I am. This is a good kit.
This is an old kit. We had this a while ago.
You know what? I got a lot of these
fixins. We're a little bit smooth brain today. Everybody's tired and cold, and
yeah, it was a little cold.
That's why we are so awkward right now, because everybody's just
am
so
I
sleepy.
Awkward? I'm a little
We're
awkward.
both awkward right now. Neither of us know what we're doing.
I know what I'm doing for now, for this moment. For this one moment here, I'm getting ready to make a necklace.
I like those
pretending
pearls.
that this is a design challenge, which it is. It's a design challenge. So what I like to do when I get beads for a design challenge is I break everything down. Now I would, in theory, I would put these in separate baggies, but it just, you know what? It pains me to do that just because it's so many flipping bags.
So much plastic that's
It's
just
so
going to
much
get thrown
plastic,
away.
and I don't love that story. I know that it would be more convenient, but imagine the waste. I don't like to picture that waste. So this is a good collection of pearls. If you've ever purchased pearls, you know a lot of times they come on a 16-inch strand, sometimes a half strand, and depending on the size, you get, anywhere from 40 to 50 of the beads, and maybe you use most of them. I don't know. What I've found is that I use about a quarter, and then I put the rest in tins like this. And I have hundreds and hundreds of these. And I've traded them with my friends in the past, but I have a pretty big bead collection. And that's kind of where a lot of the bead collection started. I used to share with my friend Diane. She's over in Joshua Tree area, and she likes a lot of the same things I like, but with a few differences. We both like pearls and clear types of stones, and so if she went to a show or one of her dealers, we would pick stuff out for each other and send it. And I always loved it when I got a box because she knew exactly the types of things that I love to get. And I think she would like this. It has a lot of Herkimer diamond. That's my favorite. I love Herkimer diamond. It's called that not because it's a diamond or it's as hard as a diamond, but it reflects light similar to a diamond, which in theory it should be water clear. It should be not cloudy or have a bunch of inclusions. Let's see. Let's look at them closer. So these, when I pick stones, I go in with my Optivisors and I high grade the heck out of the stones. Because a lot of times when you're picking beads, they come on big hanks and they don't usually separate out the good quality from another strand. They're just strung fast. And some strands will have better pieces on it. Like most of these, look at this, like double terminated. Double terminated means that there's a point on both sides. So they grow in a cluster, kind of like this. I've shown this before, this sample, but it's how they grow. They grow in a cluster. And what happens is they break them off, gently have a little tool. When we were in Tucson about 15, 20 years ago, this fella from Herkimer, New York was showing us the crystals that they came off of. And most times when people find them, they're not this big. They're pretty small and they're in clusters like this, but they find them and they're like this. And so he had buckets of the samples and he could break them apart if they were small enough. And then they would proceed to get the best ones. They'd do piles similar to how I'm doing it. And the nicer ones, like they'd have A, B, C grade, and they'd make piles. So A would be in one. It's usually the smallest pile. And you would get the ones that were A grade would be double terminated, absolutely clear, no cloudy, and no, what do you call it? Like big inclusions. You don't want big inclusions because that destroys the diamond look. So those are that. These guys, what's this? I see something. Kay says, you are really blurry for me on both Facebook and YouTube. I don't know how to resolve that, Kay. I'm not sure what you would do for that.
It might be somebody's internet. It could be ours or it could be theirs.
Stamili says, feed is very blurry on Facebook. I wonder if there is something that we can do for, let me see. Clem, I can see your name. I can see everybody's name. I see June. Hello, June.
Yeah, I fixed it.
Yeah, Zelia fixed it. That's good job.
But now there's a new thing to fix, which is the internet and the fuzziness.
Is that us? Check our signal.
Yes.
Oh, it is us. Man, where's that Starlink when you need it? So our Azalea is going to go over and I think all you can do is turn it on and turn it off again.
We'll probably get kicked from our stream.
Well, do whatever you need to do to get that to go. We might have to come back on.
I just told Max to fix it.
Oh, Max
Delegated that task to Max.
Oh,
see if he can
Rosie
fix it
from
for us.
Buena Park. Buena. I used to go to a dance club in Buena. I think it was Buena Vista. Colitis is very blurry on YouTube. It's going. It still looks like we have one bar. I don't even know why.
There's not really anything that we can do other than turn it on or turn it off and turn it back on again. I think that's what he's doing.
We have another bar. How is it now?
It's the Ethernet cable wasn't plugged in all the way.
Oh, thank you, my darling. Thank you. How is it for everybody? Did that clear it up? Thank you, because we can't see. I can only see what is on my screen. So.
And our screen's clear.
Yeah, what I see is clear, so I'm glad y'all are telling me. I hate the idea of it being blurry. So irritating. Well, I'm going to make a necklace while we're standing around. And by standing around, I mean sitting here looking at my beads.
There you go.
Oh, Liz says, looks very clear. Good, good. Robin says, a little better. I don't know how we would improve anymore. We bought a Starlink, and then I lent it to my friend that didn't have any internet, so I don't have it now, but I will have it. I bought these. I think these are usually measured by the ounce. It's so painful to buy these sterling beads because they're usually pricey. If I could get one to separate, but I love them because they add a little bit of it. It adds a little extra to the design, I think. You could get away with using seed beads, which I've used for many years, and it looks great. Just depends on the kind. I have some that are holographic, and they are really beautiful, and those are nice. I was just looking around, maybe I had them on my desk. And by desk, I mean kitchen table. You got scissors over there?
I have these snips.
Yeah. Perfect. Ah, looks good in Alabama, Terry says. Robin says blurry and stilted. Terry said, did you like your Starlink? You know what? I didn't turn it on. But I liked everybody else's. I know, isn't that great? Oh, thank you. June says hi again. Good. Who knows what's going on with the internet? You know, I think you would think that we would have 100% perfect internet, but
because we're like in the main room of the house and the router is like 10 feet away.
A few feet away from the router. It doesn't seem like that should be a problem. I forgot to put the crimp on there like a goofy person. So goofy. Right now I'm using soft touch and I'm just going to make something. I'm going to make what comes to me. I think what I'm going to do is make something that is good for a rounded crew collar because that's what I'm wearing. And generally that's how I make jewelry. I make it for whatever I'm wearing or what I think I'm going to wear. You know, like you're like, hey, I got this new dress. But you know what? I haven't worn a dress and I can't actually remember the last time
you wore a dress for the summertime. You like to wear a play dress.
I do like to wear a play dress.
I saw you wear a play dress recently, but only because it had pockets.
If it doesn't have pockets, then forget about it.
Not going to be in the wardrobe to begin with.
Just put that in the giveaway pile because there's no point. I have now I have a uniform. I wear these pants called Wondery from Wondery, and I wait till they go on sale because they're kind of expensive. They're like $100. But I got a score the other day for like $40. I was so happy. They're kind of, they remind me of a little bit mom jeans a little in the front. But guess what? I'm a mom, so there you go. I did not find low rise. That's like from my youth time.
I was wearing low rise jeans just today, and then I kind of remembered why I steer away from them just a little bit because when you sit down, the back kind of falls down a little bit.
Mm.
And you
Yeah,
got
I
to
don't
be
like
like
that.
pulling up your pants every couple minutes, and then you realize, oh, it's not supposed to go up any further.
These, Cecilia said, what am I stringing? These are these little, check these out. They're so small. I got these from Jerry at Singaraja. He shows up. He's out of somewhere up north. Maybe Cape Cod. I can't remember. I saw him recently, and I was like, "Hey, Jerry," and we used to see him all the time, but we don't go to shows as often anymore, so I don't see him as often. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start stringing, and we're going to see what happens. That's usually what I like to do. Well, sometimes I have an idea. Like, for example, I think, oh, I'm wearing a crew neck. What would be good? So I'm going to use this as my clasp. It's pewter, but you know what? It looks pretty good with this silver. If I were to brush this up, it would match pretty well. I'm testing this to make sure it'll fit. Looks like it's a pretty good fit. I'm going to put my optivisors so I don't smash this the wrong direction. Because I've done that where the stuff gets twisted. Let me make sure that's going to fit well. One more time. All right. A good thing about one of these type of clasps is that on the other side of this, you could do loops or bits of chain, and then it becomes adjustable. So that's one thing I like about having an S-type clasp. It's the main benefit to something like that. Now I should have gotten in there tight. So this is if you've ever used, these are crimping pliers. See there, it has a part where it fits. You can see it there, like the jaws. And then the rounding. So this is to flatten this first step. And then that 3, 2, 1 is the sizes of crimp. Zakaya, absolutely beautiful beads you have there. Zakaya, you need to email me so I can send you your giveaway from the other night with the Softlex thing. If you did, I didn't see it in my email. All right, I'm trying to squeeze this flat. Sometimes this can be tricky because you can actually make it open if you don't get it in the right.
That happens to me every time. You're doing the second squeeze.
The second squeeze. Well, that one it came out pretty good. I got to go in there and really look.
I gotta lock in so hard when I do the second squeeze.
I've messed up so many of them. All right, I think I'm gonna go. Let's see.
It's the worst when you do it at the end of your project and you break it and you're like.
All right, what I'm gonna do? I think that this should be a good length. What do you think? That's pretty good. Let me test it on my own self. I don't want it to be too long. I'm gonna just go ahead and cut it. This does look how strong this is. Check it. All right, so that actually could not. These are for thread anyway. You're not supposed to do that. But that's a good testament to my love of soft touch Softlex. Ask anybody. Where's that place that I got it? I can't even feel where I was trying to snip it. Oh, here, I see it.
That would be crazy.
Oh, send it here. Greengirlstudios at Yahoo. Right here, right at the top. If you did Shopify, it goes to Azalea, and she might not have known what that was about, but she wasn't watching that live, I don't think.
No, I was not there.
So these are, let me tell it again. So this, I went over, this is the Herkimer Diamond. This is those vintage pearls. They're really juicy and good. And the best part is that, look how, I don't know if you can see this, but they have a lot of iridescence, which lately I've found in the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, pearls have been kind of meh. I don't know what that's about, but you don't get as much of this, the opalescence that you see. It's kind of being washed out by the light, but if you could see from my end, there's a lot of pink and like a blue flash. I have like half a dozen lights here, and it might do that thing where it's washing it out on everybody, including my screen. So now I'm going to find another. Let's see, what do I want on the end? Usually I like a little something to slide over that or tuck that into, but let's do, I don't want any, I never like a Herkimer diamond near where I'm clasping it because I feel like they're kind of pokey. I want those always in the front. So, oh, Bonnie said, Azalea, have you been making anything lately? Listen, y'all, she's been making like crazy. So.
Like what?
Aren't you working on something right now?
This is something I started a while ago. I'm working on a cardigan I haven't started any new projects in a minute. I try to finish stuff before I start anew, but it's kind of hard to do that because I'm making a full cardigan out of just worsted weight yarn, and it's taking me kind of a long time, but I'm almost done with the bottom of the body, and then I can start on the sleeves. So I'm very excited.
Some spacers. All right, get those on there, a couple of them, just to get it started. So one of the things I like to do is to make the pile. You know how I like piles. Maybe I'll do, I already started matching this up. These are carved turquoise from Afghanistan. Aren't those pretty? I love them. This is called a melon carving.
Melon cut turquoise.
Melon cut. Aren't those beautiful? You know what? They could actually be done like this. You know, I keep looking at it. They could be done this way, where you string it and then this end comes out like this, which could be really cool. Wouldn't that be neat? Actually, I love that idea. So then it's kind of like a wheel, and then it hooks up at the top, and you have like these guys in there. Or this. That'd be pretty. Try that. I already had this down for earrings, but you know what? When I got this originally, I thought, man, that's a beautiful treasure necklace idea because they're light. I mean, it's turquoise, hand carved. This strand was super gorgeous, antique. They don't make those as much. It's harder to find the material that's so pure looking. So I think what I'm going to do, let me make a pattern here. Make some space. Need room to work. Feel like a pharmacist doing that.
That was Sam's job for a minute. I've been missing him.
Yeah, he's always been missing Sam. Sam, if you're out there in Ohio watching, we miss you. We're thinking about you. All right. So how about this? We'll do it like this. I like to do a spray. Wendy says, thinking about bringing my little daughter to come meet you all. Let's do it. We can go downtown. We had fun when Wendy came to visit. We ran around downtown and went to the jewelry store down there, and it made me wish that I was at what they call, how do they say it? Professional jewelers, where they were sitting. I was like, I do this too. Why isn't my stuff? And then we realized, hey, gallery has to take a bite. So when your gallery needs a bite, then that's why a ring is $180. But that's a true story. I was like, man, I don't sell my stuff for enough as far as like finished jewelry goes, I think. But compared to their pricing, I was like, what? But that's the thing, is that sometimes you're not your own customer. I talked to this guy who was set up next to it, the Big Crafty, a few years ago. He was a knife maker. And I was looking at his knives, and I got sticker shock because one of them was like $650 or something. It was a really beautiful knife. And he's like, yeah, I'm not my customer. And I was like, what does that mean? He's like, well, I make these, but I am not the person I'm trying I am not the type of person I'm trying to sell to. And I was like, yeah, I get that. Oh, it's looking pretty. I love doing a stack of these guys, like a passage of what, I don't know what you call this. I guess it's almost like a fringe. Terry says, a Sam from Ohio. He's in Cincinnati. He's out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Maybe I'll do another passage of this right in here. A little bit smaller. Pearls. Call that, like in comedy, they say a callback. You're bringing something in from earlier in your skit. That would be that right there. That's my callback. Oh, Zacchaeus, I sent 2 emails. That's good. I'll get right on that. Usually, though, if it's something like that, I just write your address down. So.
No, we don't need to do that. I send an invoice for the giveaway because
the free shipping.
Because you can make an order for free. You can make a free order that puts the address on it, so you can make a sticker label and you don't have to go through the post office because that's a drag.
I don't want to go to the post office and deal with that. So what I'm doing is this is going to be the front right here. So maybe what I'll do is add these to this side. And I'll put these bigger ones in the front, like the big ones. Could even do some of these. I like that creamy color. Just a couple. Maybe a couple right in here like this. To change up the, what do they call it? The scale. The scale of the piece. The pearls I picked out for this kit are really extra nice. This is interesting. They call these pre-Islamic cut. And it's almost like a Cornwall's cube. These are not dyed. This is a natural turquoise. This one also comes from Afghanistan. And those were really old. I don't know if y'all like old beads or not, but I have a little bit of a love affair with antique beads. So I'm going to put all of these. This is going to be the back of the necklace now. So the back of the necklace, we're going to have mostly pearls because I don't want to have a part where it's, the little points to be around my neck. I don't want those to be there. I want those to be in the front. So I'm going to space those out. Something soft. These little shiny green pearls are very smooth, very iridescent. I think that looks good. What do y'all think? It looks real nice. Wendy says, I love rocks of any kind. I would love it if I loved rocks of every kind, but I don't. There's plenty of rocks I don't love. Like, I don't love a lot of straight, opaque stones. Those are not my favorite. But you know what? If they're in a good cut, if it's faceted, then I'm like, I take it back. I love them. Now I was talking about scale. So one thing you can do to get a mix, when you have a mix of textures and shapes, it's good. So I have a mix here. Pearls, they're all different. And when you have it like this, you can either choose to stay within your range of shapes. Like this rice shape is sort of like hinted at around the whole thing. So I could, since there's only one round, which is this, I could go and find something around in a very small diameter to sprinkle in. But I think I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to string what I have right now. And look how they look when they're strung. These are strung, they're drilled, so they're like a little rice. Wendy says, you've been doing this so long, you can be pickier. I have been doing this a long time. I have beads in there that are Azalea, they're older than you. That's
BA.
It's BA, before Azalea. Let's see what it looks like.
I could not even tell you how many times I've heard that this week alone. This older than you.
Yes, that's true.
Dang.
It's good. This is kind of the same feeling that I'm doing here as this necklace here. If you remember, I did this from the kit. This is from, what was this called again? The
Water lily.
I don't know why I can't remember that. So this is water lilies, just straight knotted. And in this one, I knot in between, like I didn't knot in between all of them. I knotted in between most, but there are sections where I didn't. Pat says, very few things are older than me. Pat, most of the beads in my collection, of my old antique bead collection, would be older than you. Because I like those rare ones. You all know what I'm talking about. Those gooseberry or onion skin beads, I love them. I'm part of a Facebook group that admires, it's like an ancient or antique bead admirers. And it's fun because if you don't know what something is, you can ask somebody that has been collecting beads. And that's kind of fun. Fortunately, these guys are all drilled well. You know how I hate it when they're not. So annoying. All right, I have that. Okay, so I don't want to make it too long before I get to the fun part. I say fun part, it's all fun. So I'm going to put this up to my neck and see where I am. About, if I'm at the back of my neck, there could be a few more of these. I like that shape. I'm going to space that a little bit more. Yeah, these came out really beautiful. And you know what was funny? I got these from my friend Joanne from her uncle who had a store for like a month in, where was it? Venice Beach in California in the 80s. And he lasted about a month and decided he didn't like it and closed shop and then stored all of his merchandise under the bed. And he gave Joanne a bunch of boxes of beads. And I got some of those beads. Some of these rice pearls are part of that collection. Right now, I'm going to get into some of these Herkimers. Zakai, did you make those turquoise flowers? These flowers are from Afghanistan. Oh yeah, that looks good. Love it. The Herkimers, so lovely. Allison said they're more powerful. They're supposed to be quartz in general is supposed to be known as a stone that is like an amplifier. So I'm doing this little number. I don't know if I like it. I think I'm going to do more. It's color blocked. You guys know I'm a fan of that color blocking. Yeah, you can see some of that, how they're, if you can see the double, how good of a quality. They're really pretty. A friend of mine went up to Herkimer, New York to hunt for the Herkimers. And she said, I went all day long digging and I only found a few pieces. And she said she saw this truck come in and drive out of another mine, like across the road. And she said these people came out and started looking. She goes, the stuff that fell off the truck was where it was at. And it was lying on a dirt road. She goes, we just followed behind, picked them up. And then they went home and drilled them. They were finding them. That was in Herkimer, New York. They found them. I guess the ones she found, they weren't as good like that. They were maybe this size. She showed me and asked me how to draw them. And we went through, and I showed her how to make a little jig so she could get that drilled. Look at this one. That's cool. Check this out. It has like, look, there's three little, I don't know if you can see that, it's like a little stack. It's like it's double terminated, then 2 more growing. Love it. Zakai, they are exotic. What is the name of the antique group you were in? Pat, I'll send you an invite to it. Or maybe I'll drop it in the Green Girl group. I don't know if I can do that. I'm not that tech savvy. We'll see how that goes. All right, let me look and see. I might keep going and make it too long. I don't want it too long. I want it to be like sweatshirt-ish. Oh, yeah. Bonnie says, I got some from you. They are sharp. They are sharp. They're both sharp and sharp. I usually use them for earrings. That's my favorite use. I have a pair of earrings from my friend, Kathy Van Cleek, and she put some really lovely Herkimer diamonds on them, and I love them. I wear them all the time. And they're pretty simple. They're like 3 sterling chain with little dangles at the bottom. And the dangles at the end of the chain are little Herkimer diamonds. Let me see how that's looking. Let's put that on there for full effect. All right, I want to put these on there. I need to find the bigger. Oh, here we go. Oh, I want to use. I want to use this for earrings. Yeah, I love them. Maybe I'll go 3 of these next. There isn't really a pattern, but there's kind of a little bit of a pattern. A tiny bit of a pattern. Okay, let's see. Herkimer. Pat, what is Herkimer? Oh, Terry says, this is a spirit necklace. I love those colors and the Herkimers. Yeah, I like that story. I like that you called it a spirit necklace. That's a nice name for it. You'll notice that I haven't been struggling with stringing these. No struggling required. Okay, so here goes in the front. I'm going to put these guys to make the little stack. I think it'll be pretty. Pakistan crystal. Love this, by the way. I always wonder what I would do with the stick beads. Just use them. Listen, I could write a poem about how much I love those stick pearls. It's almost awkward how much I love them. I have an embarrassing collection of stick pearls.
Why do you love them so hard?
Well, for one, the main reason, and I'll tell you, y'all, guess what you can do with it. This is going to be, you're going to be like, of course, Thornton, what else would you do with them? But let me just show this real fast. So here's what I do with them. Okay, pretend like I'm making a class. Check this out, so good. Right there. That's what you do with it. That's exactly what you do with it. See? Of course, you can put something on this. I would string these and then string. Here, I'll just show it on this necklace. So you would put how I have this bead here, how the button is done. See that? So I did about half of these seed beads here, put the button on or the pearl, finish it up, crimp, and then do the other side so that you can do like this. You could pretend like that's your stick pearl. Or what else I like to do is I love making an earring with it. And the earring looks good. Oh, man down, I just dropped that pearl. Oh, here it is.
I like the chrysocolla in that too.
This chrysocolla has a good variance between, some of them have the super dark, and then you can see it was in the same strand. Check that out. The same strand had these super dark blue in there. For the most part, it's this creamy sky blue. It's like every 6th one had that pop. of whatchamacallit. You know, I'll buy strands of this every once in a while, and this will last me a long time because I use it in sections like this. If there's any interest, I can pick some of this up next time I'm in Tucson. You guys let me know. Give me a head count of how many folks would be interested, and I can find out. Now, of course, it's silver, so the price of silver is, how do you say, it is not fixed. So that's the only problem with it. Things like brass, you can get them in different metals. It comes in copper, it comes in a bunch of different metals. But my favorite is the silver. They even make plated ones now. I thought I saw them at a show. But if you're going to use them, might as well get, the silver ones. So, I have some that are silver that were plated with gold plate, and they look good, but you know what? That plating, if you wear it all the time, doesn't stay for that long. Here are some that were plated. These are the gold plate. They're much heavier because of that gold. Very heavy. But you can already see, I've had this a really long time. You can already see how some of them, where they've been rattling around, they eventually will lose their, you'll still see it, but if it's something you wear all the time, that coating will not last forever, unless it's like a super thick coating. And the price will reflect that. Anytime, if you see it and it's kind of inexpensive, gold is not cheap. Even gold plate, unless it's like when they say gold plate, but what they really mean is like it's gold colored plate, because they can plate any different color, but it might not be for real gold. All right, so this is what I have so far. Does silver tarnish as quickly as plated? If it's silver, it'll tarnish. You can they have little packages, and you can put the packages of anti-tarnish in with your silver. But usually, if it tarnishes, I like to put. I like pro polishing pads. And pro polishing pads are little foam pads that you can get from Rio Grande, or sometimes people sell them. I think Kate sells them if you don't need a pack of 500 or whatever they sell them at, because they sell them in big packs. It's not Rio Grande, the jewelry supply, is not for, it's a wholesale site. So if you know someone that has a resale license and account, you can get them and go in. Someone asked me to carry them. I might do that because I get them in big packs. And I'm not using them all the time. All right, let's see what this is. Oh, it's getting longer and longer. That can happen. Let's see how long that is. I'm going to test it. Kate has them in smaller bags of polishing cloth. Yeah. Bonnie says, I buy the Hill Tribe. I love Hill Tribe. That's, they call that the Karen Hill Tribe in Thailand. They make stuff in a traditional way. These are Hill Tribe right here. And it's getting harder to find because from what I understand, a lot of people don't want to do this work anymore because it's very labor intensive and if you look, so these are, they're silver rolled beads. They have a little eye stamped on them, but they're all hollow. They have a great big hole because it's, let me see, so you can see it. Look at that size of that. I keep these as crimp covers because those will slide right over your crimps. Pat says pro polish pads are widely available and sunshine cloths are good too. I have to say I don't like sunshine cloths, man. They've been at so many shows and they've given me free samples over the years. And as much as I've tried to like them, they have a little bit of a residue. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. It's kind of, it stays on there. But I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like that feeling. I want them to be. I don't want to feel anything. Oh, and you know what? They kind of scratch up your pearls a little bit. So don't do sunshine on your pearls. They'll leave them kind of. I feel like they take off some of the luster. And I polished up a necklace, and I was disgusted when I was done because the silver part was shiny, but my pearls looked dull. So I was kind of not happy about that. Anyway, I think it should be a little bit longer. What do you think? Wendy says, yes, I feel like I got to wash my hands after those. Yeah, you do. The Pro Polish pads don't last as long, I don't think. But, you know.
I got a pro polishing pad that is black on both sides on my desk upstairs, and I'm still using it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been up there for like a year.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pat says, I have to use gloves to use it, not for pearls. It's a blue cloth. Oh, I have several of them. They come in different grits because what it is it's the fabric or foam that has some kind of compound. It's like polishing compound, that you'd use on your grinding wheel to polish. And that residue, I love it. I just like the convenience of a pro polishing pad. Okay, so I'm going to try this again. Looking good. You know what this would be good? I think this would be actually really pretty, a double strand. Nice double strand piece. Maybe going with some more pearls. This could, of course, be where you have your clasp in the front. I like that. It's not an ugly clasp, so it doesn't look horrendous.
I hate it when a necklace got an ugly clasp and it falls into the front, and everybody's like, "Oh, nice lobster clasp there." You
guys want to know something? So, a few years ago, when we went to DC, we went to the Smithsonian. I don't know if Azalea remembers, but she was obsessed with pandas at the time and would not rest until she had panda ears. And those panda ears were super adorable. But outside of the Smithsonian, they have a big mineral collection, and they advertise where you can see the Hope Diamond. And I could not believe my eyes when I looked at that diamond, and it had the ugliest clasp. It was like it wasn't even a lobster claw. It was like a spring clasp. I was like, you mean to tell me they've got this diamond that is pretty much, what do they call it when it's like the value is
priceless?
It's priceless. It's a priceless diamond. And they actually put a spring clasp on that. I was like, who's in charge here? We need to have a talk. Listen, y'all couldn't have found, I don't know, you couldn't have gotten, taken apart one of those antique necklaces from the same time period, maybe there's a Tiffany collection with that. It seemed like you could get a better clasp.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because there was all these other jewelry people. We were standing around going, what is this? Wendy, that would be a dream if they told me, Cynthia Thornton, we are going to commission you to design the clasp for the Hope Diamond. I would be like, it's already done. It's in my mind. Take it from my mind and let's 3D print it and do it right now. That's what would happen with it. It would be such a good clasp that they put it on the side. Now that's me talking my own self up. It's okay. Someone's got to do it, right? They say that's positive self-talk, which is good for you. All right, so I didn't count how many beads are on the little thing here. So let me just briefly look and see how many I have. It doesn't have to be perfect. Usually I don't count them. You know what I do? I look at it. I eyeball it. That should surprise no one. But I'm going to do that. This clasp looks a little dark with this, but if there's a pro polishing pad handy, I can change that in no time. Let's make sure that is a good fit. It is. Yeah, they did. Wendy said, obviously spent all the ching on the diamond. The diamond was beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, I forgot to put those other things on. Shoot. Forgot to put the little spacers on first. I put 2 spacers. Where did I see those? All right. 2. You know what? I should put a little bit more silver in there. Like between these pieces would have been nice. So if they fall off and you can't get a hold of them, I do this. Like I use the cord like a needle and just go through and grab them all like this. It's very fast. And I'm done in no time. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I was talking to a friend about craft. This was during about a month ago when Helene was in full swing. And we were outside in the party tent. I call it the party tent. It's not really, it's my show tent, but we set it up so that we had all kinds of, because it was dark, so we were outside a lot. And a friend of mine, a new friend, didn't know her very well. She's a girlfriend of one of our old friends, came over and she'd never done any seed beading. And I was like, you've never worked with seed beads? She was like, no, I haven't. I was like, well, get ready. You're going to love this. So maybe I'll change the position of this. So I have to redo it. One side was a little bit bigger than the other. So now this side will go here on the head side. Doesn't really matter. You just want it to look like equal. And it'll look equal. Although that's kind of obvious. I'm going to just put a couple extra on there. Just take but a second to add a couple more of those little seed beads. They're pretty useful. Of course, you can use any seed bead. I have like a million colors. But since these were right next to my hand, they're the ones that are going to get used. So anyway, we were sitting there and she'd never worked with seed beads and she was working. She was like, I really like to make jewelry. And I looked at her jewelry and she had like some kind of, she was doing kumihimo or something. And I was like, if you like that, get ready. I was like, have you ever heard of peyote stitch? Or bead weaving? She had never heard of either. And so I got out a bunch of supplies and I made a kit for bead weaving. I'm going to test this and make sure I don't have any gaps. Oh, Bonnie says, did you know if you keep silver in plastic bags, it doesn't tarnish? Well, that's probably why this isn't all tarnished, because I keep it in a plastic bag. I keep it just like this, wad it up. See how I do it? Just like this. There you go. Oh, I forgot one. Here, we'll do this. Put that on there. All right, let's see where I'm at here. Okay, so this is what I have. This little snake, I should remind everyone, it's nice and thick and sturdy, but you can pinch it closed. So you can open it a hair, but I would say just open one side because it's not going to break or anything, but you don't want to stress the metal. I'm testing. Clem says, is wadded up a technical term? Why, yes, Clem, it is. It's my technical term for get it out of the way for now. I'm happy with that. Let's see. Well, I hate waste. That one should be, I save everything. You'd think I have a hoarder house, but at the moment I do not. But I do like to save things. And I do like to reuse, reduce, and recycle. I hate just pitching things into the landfill. So right now I'm going to get in here if you don't know how to crimp. This. Think of it like a toilet paper roll. So this is a toilet paper roll. We're going to flatten it and put a bend in it. So ideally you don't want your cords to be crossed on the inside. So it has, the fold goes in a direction. You want to crimp in the direction. So it's folding like this right now, like this. So you don't want to take your pliers and fold the other direction. You want it to go this way. So since it's the open sides of that, go in like this, have the open sides facing out, and then carefully squeeze the taco or the toilet. It's like a little toilet paper roll. You squeeze the bend so that it's flat, making sure that you don't smash the beads on either side, because you know what? That's one of the things I am expert, which is I think how come I started doing like metal beads on that, because I kept having the habit of breaking them. Partly because I would be like, I don't need to go find my optimizers. Yes, you need to go get your optimizers. All right, so this is what I made in about an hour with talking and messing around and looking around. Not bad. Pinch that closed a little bit more. I don't want it too closed because I want to be able to get it on. So, hey, do you have a pro polish pad over there I could demonstrate? I've been talking about them half the night.
That's a level of preparation that
I know. Okay, so
we are
you don't
not
have a pro
accustomed
polishing
to.
pad. You know what else you can use is a paper towel, a dry paper towel. Or there's another thing. Oh, so this is what I do to get a matte finish or satin finish. Use one of these dry. This is basically a sanding thing. What was I sanding?
I have no idea what you were making.
I was sanding something. So anyway, let's take this off. You could take it off. So here's another good part about this. So say you made this and you're like, man, I weirdly made that too short. So if that was the case, or if you wanted just to be longer, you could always make an extender. And that's easy to do. You could put like another clasp on that like that to match it and then have something on that side. That's a little technique. I think I put that in a book. I think it was a bracelet. It was like called a convertible necklace. It was something, or maybe a stringing magazine. I don't remember. Give it a little bit of a scrub. Oh, what do we see here? Oh, Katney says, I'm excited to see your melon earrings. Maybe next time. Possibly. I have to think about it because I want to wear these. You know what? It might be good to, when I was working with it, I was like, what could I wanted to do something like with the pearl, like maybe something like this. This pearl gets washed out. You can't even see how nice these are. They have a really lustrous finish.
You scooted your chair back so far. Scooted it over.
What for? All right, let's see.
We didn't show Marty this time.
What's he doing?
I have no
He's
idea
sleeping.
where he is.
Leave that cat alone. He needs to rest.
No, he's been sleeping all day. He does not need any more rest. I don't know where he is. He's good at hiding.
That's what I like. And this would make a good earring like that too. Kind of like a little bit of a ladder. I didn't use any of the peachy colored pearls. Those are all sitting over here.
I like those a lot.
That would have been a good choice. You know, they were out of my, I had, like I did all these white ones. I should have put a couple on there. That would have been real pretty. Oh, wow. You know what? This would be good with another layer. If I had a double strand, this type of clasp is good for that, you know, because you could add another one and there's room to put that on there. I like a clasp that gives you possibilities to adjust it to whatever you want, whatever neckline you're wearing. Katney says, any of your mermaid items would fit wonderfully with this. Yeah, I think so. This kind of made me think of, let's see, I was kind of thinking of the Sundance, how they like to put pearls together with turquoise. I think it looks good with that. Anyway, I'm happy with how this came out. What does everyone think? Do you guys like it? My hour-long project. Oh, while I'm standing here, I will show this. So remember, I told Zoe to put it on my account because then it wouldn't have commercials. I'm going to find the remote. We put it on YouTube for the healing tones. So this is the gator that we talked about. Remember, it was a salamander at first. Now it's an alligator, very detailed. And lily pads and little waves. You can't see the little waves. And down in the corner, if you guys see this, but there's a little, let me see if I can see it. I might have to detail this some more. But down here is a little frog poking its head up. It needs more detail. So this is what it said on the back, beware the shallows. So I wanted to put something here, but I haven't decided what. So that's waiting. And maybe I'll put my signature in there. What do y'all think? Looks pretty good, huh? Happy with it. But anyway, it's about this size, nice size, palm size. Don't mind my son, he's just playing video games.
You can hear him in the background.
He's all like, I was like, listen, I do not want to hear your fight talk. You know how kids, when they're like, you know, it sounds like they're killing each other. So I made this the other day. Listen, I will make some random things. So where were we going, Azalea? Where was the last trip? We went somewhere to Florida. So you know what? I was in the gas station and I got a yogurt, but guess what? They were out of spoons. And I thought, oh, I'm sure I have a spoon in the car. You know what I didn't have in the car? I didn't have a spoon. And so I thought, man, I wish I had something to keep in my purse. And so I made this so I could scoop yogurt, or if I had a salad, or pickles, you go and fork them. But anyway, that was my idea. I'm going to make this. And I thought, hey, I could 3D print that, or I could cast it in copper. Copper wouldn't have nothing can grow on it, you know. That's one of the bonuses of copper and silver is they're naturally antimicrobial, which means the bacteria won't grow on the surface. So maybe a bronze or Shibuichi would be ultra fancy. But anyway, I'm going to make some of these. I don't know if anybody else wants something like that. But I'm going to make a kit for my purse. Azalea gives me a hard time because it takes me forever to leave the house. And I like to have things for, you know, I don't know, just to have it and make, you know, like I don't like to be without certain things. I like to have eating utensils wherever I go. I have a spork in my purse after the incident with the yogurt, but it's made out of bamboo and it's just, the spoon part is massive. I was like, who needs this? Whose mouth did they design this for? Freaking that dude from Princess Bride? I mean, seriously, there's a giant bowl on that spoon. Anyway, this one is kind of a nice small mouth opening, I think. Not too deep of a bowl. Perfect for yogurt. Probably not great for soup. But if it were for soup, you could always just go in and, you know, sip it out of the side. That's not, you know, this is for when you need it. So you put it in your bag. So here, just to remind everyone, I made this is a little Asheville pendant that I designed over the last couple days. I didn't want to make it depressing. At first, it was depressing. My first version of this had chaos all around it. But then I was like, you know what? Nobody needs to be bummed out, so we'll make it pretty. So there are the mountains and the trees, and if you look carefully, you can see the little houses along the French Broad. And if you look really carefully, you can see the rain that drowned everything out. Big old heavy drops of rain. So
in the future, you should paint your coin with the autumn leaves.
This one I should paint it? Oh, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. So I made more, and we're going to make a listing because I had a ton of emails come in asking about this coin. So the first batch is already sold. I have the second batch in the kiln actually it's out of the kiln. They're in the tumbler right now. So I have a total of, I think, 35. So I made another 15 or so, 15, 18 more than the first batch that I had last week. So everything will be shipping. You guys should see the bucket that Greg and Azalea made. Check this out. You know, Pat says, what if you dated it and wrote on the back? I'm going to make one for pewter that has something on there about resilience and perseverance. But I haven't decided what. It's one of those things. I want to give me that thing. Am I going to be able to lift it? I want to show it.
It won't fit.
It'll fit.
How are you going to show it?
Check this out. Oh my God, it's like 16. Check this. This is all the pewter Azalea and Greg made. Look at all that. So if you've been waiting, if you have an order and you have any pewter in it, it's right here, and we're getting ready to ship it all. So we've been producing this stuff like crazy. So fear not. Now it is going to be shipped. So coming soon. Here's this back at you, little daughter. Okay, let's wrap it up, my friends. Flip this camera around. Ready for the market. Wendy, that's not for the market. That's for orders. That was within the last, we could not work during Helene. We were out of commission. We didn't have any electricity or water, so there was no work happening for that couple of weeks. And then there was no internet. It was pretty much, we were just living we were basically camping, it was different. We'd never dealt with anything like that. All right, getting ready to flip. Oh, this phone got disconnected. How do I connect it back?
My phone?
My phone. The one in front.
Ooh.
Front phone.
I don't know. If it disconnected, I'm not sure how to reconnect it. It's plugged in. I don't know what else I can do to fix it.
Well, for some reason, the other phone got disconnected. I don't know why. I don't know how come that happened. So we're going to have to just, what do you do?
Log out from there. What are you trying to figure out?
I'm not figuring. Pat says, you have hit the big time. Oh, thank you. Mary says, that is a nice tribute piece of Asheville. Oh, I like that, Terry. Home is where your heart is. This is nice. All right, my friends, I'm going to do this. Oh, I know what I'll do. No, I don't. I was going to say I could flip it this way. Okay, we're going to flip it this way.
What is she doing, guys?
We're being different.
Chat, what is she doing?
We're being unusual right now. As I was like, nice work, Mom. Looking good. All right, friends. Today we worked on making a necklace. This is with the kit Minerva, pearls, turquoise, lots of good stuff. And talked about this little coin and how everything is going to be shipping very soon. Very soon. That's going to be in the next few days. So if you have any questions such as, when will my order ship? That question is within the next few days, my friends, within the next few days. We've been making the beads to ship. So if you're ever wondering, we make everything right in here, right in the garage downstairs. That's where everything is made. So thank you for being patient. Cynthia says, what is your eyewear? Cynthia, these are Optivisors. These are super ancient. You can tell by how chewed up they are. But these, I cannot make anything without these. These are ones are made by Donegan Optical. They're made in the U.S. Get these. They're great. You'll make jewelry forever. Keep your eyes. Preserve your sight. Use Optivisors. All right, my friends. We will see you on Sunday. We have a lot of fun things planned. I have some earring kits, but they'll be in limited edition. I have some beads that I've been sitting on for a long time. And my plan is to have they'll just be like mini kit, like a limited edition mini kit of something, of some very fancy, lovely little beads that I've been hoarding or saving, as I like to say. So anyway, we love you out there, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. You guys take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.